Good morning, HTB Beauty. Good morning, fellow hairdressers. And good morning, John. We are doing another week from Stylist from the Back Room.
Good morning, everybody out there. I'm done talking with you for the day, so I'm just going to talk to them out there. You're by yourself now.
All right.
I'm kidding. Ed. So I'll start our week off like we always do. How's your week going, bud?
Has it been a week already?
Yeah, it has.
I have no idea what happened in this past week. And you know what? Sometimes not every week is fun, but by the time you just got to power through it. This was one of those weeks where I just had to power through it. It was a rough week. And the first couple of days to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, man, I was not feeling it at all. It was rough. But here we are now, Friday. You know what? No, yesterday, actually, I take it back. Yesterday, I got myself remotivated, and I've been able to accomplish a lot in this past couple of days.
That's awesome.
Since yesterday and today. That's morning.
Good for you, man. That's good for you. You weren't angry elf for a little while earlier this week. You were definitely headed towards the naughty list on Santa's list. 6 months till Christmas. So you were headed towards a sack of coal. But we've got a sneak peek for you guys. We've got some fun stuff coming up for our HTB. What do we call them? HTB. I'm drawing a blank.
What are you even trying to say right now? Talking
about anybody who's involved with us in HTB, whether they're purchasing from us, they come to our classes. We got to come up with a name for them. They need a name.
Well, like the Hulkamaniacs, we need the HTB.
Yeah, exactly. We got to come up with HTB-ites or something like that.
HTB-ites, huh?
I don't know.
Working on that one, buddy boy.
Pay attention to what's going on with HTB, especially on the website, guys, because we got some really awesome stuff coming up that you guys are going to really, really dig. That's all I can say, so he doesn't get mad at me. And whoops, hold on 1 second.
Who's that Spider-Man kid actor?
Which one? There's 3 of them.
No. The young one, the Spider-Man kid.
Tom Holland?
Yeah. You're like Tom Holland.
What do you mean?
So there's this thing, like every interview he's on, he always Marvel always gets mad at him because he always says something that he's not supposed to be spouting off yet. Yeah. So they've literally taken to sending fake scripts to him or fake memos, just so when he says something, he says the most outrageous thing, like he has no idea what he's talking about. Everybody else knows what's going on except for him. It's hilarious.
Well, isn't that why you keep me around?
Yeah, I'm gonna start sending you fake memos and fake Post-its and stuff. So
that's okay. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if you want to start with the facts and figures. You got anything else on your mind before we kick off our little?
Let's do this. What you got in the news? Well, what's going on?
I got all kinds of stuff in the news. I don't know if you want it or not.
Okay.
Ask nicely. Say the P word. Say the P word.
You're pissing me off. Get to it already.
All right, I've got some salon stats for you guys today. Not for Eddie because he's being Eddie.
Have you not learned by now that you're never like? I don't even understand. You're fishing for compliments.
I'm not fishing for compliments. I just want you to be nice for a minute. Jeez.
Do your job, and I'll be nice to you.
I don't.
There's this thing going. There's this trend right now on social media with like Gen X attitude.
That's what you had, Gen X attitude. I like
it's so stupid because now at the salon, every time I'm talking to someone, like every time something like this happens and I just respond the way I respond, like you're such a Gen Xer. I'm like, I never in my life thought it would come to this where I'd be labeled so heavily on something.
All right, so you ready? We're gonna do a little quiz with you, okay?
Okay.
What do you think the percentage is? Oh, and by the way, this is from the Professional Beauty Association.
Okay.
What do you think the percentage of men's hair color being in salons is?
2%.
That's your guess.
That's my guess.
So
You're talking the United States. You're not talking global.
I'm talking US,
Yeah, US. Yeah, 2%. I'm going to.
21%. So
Whoa!
far this year. So far this year. How's
Wow, that is cool.
dude, seriously, men's color services are becoming more and more prominent each year because we Gen Xers that are gray and and we can't look like people's dads. um it's becoming more and more because it's so competitive out there in the working world.
You had
It
told
really
me a
is.
couple weeks ago that like what was it? I got to remember. It was only 39%. It was some low percentage as like overall is the color business in total. So I figured if barely anybody's getting their hair colored, which is still doesn't make any sense to me how heavily everything is skewed towards haircutting. Um, yeah, I didn't realize. Wow, 21%. That is amazing.
Well, but if you really think about it, though, if you from that original, that was way back. That was way back.
No, well, that's what I was. I do pay
That stat I
attention.
gave you. But like we talked about with that, you have to think about the fact of from coast to coast in the U.S., all of the salons, and a lot of the salons that are just haircut only.
Okay, okay.
And I'm not just talking about the hair cutteries or whatever, but they do color, but they're cut only, and with barbering really figuring into the mix again, because barbershops are becoming
You
huge.
know what? That's a great point. That is a great because they do the facial coloring. They do the yeah. You're right. Okay, okay, okay.
So really to take that into account, really think about it. That's really cool. There was I was in Chicago a couple days ago, and I can't. Is it Floyd's Barber Shop? Have you ever been by one of those?
Oh sure. Oh yeah.
What a cool concept!
Oh yeah.
What
They're actually they're actually nationally famous. I want to say they might be international, world famous. They might be.
what? But
I
what a
wouldn't be
cool.
surprised if they are world famous.
Yeah, I just kind of wandered in, and I kind of spent about 10-15 minutes just kind of wandering around. I did, and what barbering, man, coming back. It makes me happy because that's an art. That is an
Yeah.
art form. Not what we
Yeah.
do as an art, guys. Not what we do as an art. But I mean, barbering is a complete. I watched this guy do a fade that was just you could have skipped a rock off it. I swear it was just so cool. But yeah. So dig that. 21% of salon color is being performed on men. That's coast to coast.
That makes sense. That really does make sense because when we're teaching our color classes, we do start addressing that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have always said, while I still have hair, I'm a color it. And I do. I color my hair every week, anyways, especially my face. I'm Snow White,
Yeah.
I tell everybody, nobody believes me. But then, like when I start getting towards the end of the week, I'll start pulling my hair up. I'll be like, look at all the grays. Well, not right now because I just colored it, but and people get blown away of how. I mean, you've seen how white I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild. At the salon, I'll tell you, the amount of high school boys. We are just rocking perms every week with the high school boys, but just then their fathers come in and we're actually been coloring their hair demi glaze. Especially with the all nutrient carrot tint color, the demi glaze color.
Yep.
Man, we've been doing a lot of overglazes on the fathers,
and especially with the cool slate because it eliminates any and all warmth. So there's no risk of running orange. Like a lot of guys get a bad experience when they try to do it at home and they bring up that underlying pigment and then they're orange. It's great.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
And along those lines, so let's play a little game. It's a news game.
Okay. Oh, is this from Florida? Is this a headline from Florida?
No, it's not. I want you to rank the 4 color services, what's the 4th most common color service in salons as far as the type of color used?
You talking about like single process? What were you talking about?
No. Give me permanent, semi, demi, or temporary. What's number 4?
Permanent, semi, demi, or temporary?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess people do temporary color in salons. Okay, sure. That's number 4. Yeah, okay.
What's number 3?
Semi,
Try again.
demi.
Yes. What's number 2?
I don't understand. How is semi number 2?
Semi is number 2 because more and more people use semi first to try on hair color. This is according to the Pro Beauty Association.
Wow. I would have figured with the amount of toning that's done, with the amount. Wait, is fantasy hair color considered a semi? Or is that
I consider it a semi.
okay? You know what? Yeah, okay. First time trying or having fun and playing and getting into it. Wow.
And then
Wow.
number 1 is permanent.
Yeah, of course. Number 1's permanent color. Yeah, sure.
So how's
Great
that?
hair coverage and all of that included, you know?
So in reverse order, temporary is number 4, demi-permanent is number 3, semi is number 2, and permanent is number 1. Dig that.
Wow. I really, really would have thought with all the toning that gets done and everything, demi would have been number 2. That's wild.
Yeah.
What an opportunity to build clientele or to build business then, because you can, yeah, it's kind of like a try before you buy type thing.
Yeah. So now here's a fun one for you.
Okay.
What shade of color is the most prominent that female clients choose?
6N. Is that what you're saying? Like is it like that?
Let's go. Let me give you parameters because you're being really difficult today.
I'm not. I don't understand the question. Ask your question better, sir.
Okay, so here's your choice. You got brunette. You've got
brunette,
auburn.
red, or blonde, then brunette all the way.
Over 50% choose a blonde shade.
No, 6N is the number 1 color.
Shade. 6N.
I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay, so really, if someone comes in with, say, your natural hair color or my natural hair color,
okay,
and she wants it lighter or softer, isn't that blonding it?
To what target result?
Well, we're not talking about levels. It's just
You just hit me with some technicality, man.
Sure.
This is, aren't you a game show host if there ever was one?
Guys, if you're watching this is what I've been dealing with all week.
Survey says it's on the board, Steve. It's on the board.
And I'm going to give you the last piece of news, and I'm just going to read it to you because you're just arguing everything.
No.
Today.
Come on. I like it. All right, come on.
Okay. Natural hair.
No, you're asking a question now.
Nope, this is a statement.
Ask it. Play the game.
Natural hair is the call for hair color this year, with over 34 million Instagram posts tagged natural hair.
What is a load of crap for 1,000?
You don't even get a consolation prize.
Right?
Go home, feel shame.
What is natural hair? What is
natural hair?
How do you? What do you mean with? So 6N. So we're back to 6N. 34% want to be 6N.
But I don't. You don't like N's, so I don't even know if you know what 6N looks like.
It doesn't matter. I only know, statistically speaking, it is the number 1 sold hair color.
It is. You're
out
not
of
wrong.
any other shade of hair color.
You're not wrong, but
followed closely by 5 and 7N, which means 70% of women going on out there are some form of a brunette or natural shade of color.
Is 6N a brunette or is it a dark blonde?
Depends what color. It depends if you're using the European color system or the American color system.
Attaboy. See?
So there you go. So yeah, it still
So,
falls into dark blonde or light brown. It's a brunette.
so anyway, that is dig that though, man. 34 million Instagram posts so far this year tagged natural hair.
Okay. Okay. I
Dig
can
that.
dig it. I can dig it.
How's that work for you in your world?
I mean, it would explain a lot of mess ups that I've done over the years. I'll tell you that.
Amen. Amen.
I wish I knew about this kind of stuff beforehand.
Right?
I mean,
right?
oh
Tell
man,
me,
thinking
tell
back
me,
on it.
since you brought that up, tell me what one or two of your worst experiences doing hair.
Oh boy. Oh, you know what though? No. Hands down, I will forever tell this story because it really changed everything. This was my defining moment. My very first client that I ever highlighted, her name was April. She asked me for a simple partial highlight. I know you've heard this story before.
I
I
know
will forever tell
the
this
April
story. It does. It messed me up that good. Not that bad. It messed me up that good. This poor woman asked for a simple partial highlight. It took me 3, almost 4 hours, and I was slicing. I wasn't even weaving. She was my first paying client behind the chair. My very first paying client service behind the chair. And it was an utter disaster. I struggled so bad. I don't know what happened. I just struggled applying applying the foil, applying the lightener to the foil. Actually, I think it was bleach back then I used. I don't even remember anymore. It's probably bleach back then. Yeah, applying the bleach, folding the foil, slicing the sections, parting. She was so nice. She was so positive. She didn't complain. She didn't him and haw. She carried the entire conversation. She carried the entire thing. Okay.
You were sweating bullets.
At one point, I even said maybe I should go get somebody else to help me. And she goes, "No, you're doing fine." After hours of applying, I had the gall to make her sit there and process.
You didn't even rinse the foils in the back yet?
I took her back to the shampoo bowl. Whatever hair she had left, like foils were just coming out of her head with her hair still in it, man. Pocket foils. I couldn't even hide it. There was so much breakage. Whatever hair she had left, she looked like zebra stripes. It was just looked stupid. She looks so dumb. Like the color, not her. The color looks so stupid. And then she had to go get a haircut and a blow dry after that too, right? And she sat there and she got a haircut and she was just chatting away like no problem. She got the blow dry, and I'm sitting at the front desk like this, like I'm so embarrassed. She comes up to the desk and she goes, what's my total? I said, April, there is no way I can charge you. Like, what are you even talking about right now? I go, let's not even play around. Like, look at you. She goes, listen to me. You spent your time, you spent your energy, and you spent your effort, and you did a job. Whether or not she's like satisfied with the result of the job, you did a job. She goes, so how much do I owe you? I'm like, I don't even feel comfortable charging you. Like, I can't charge you anything. I don't remember how much. I'm just going to say, like, she slapped down some money. Like she literally put cash on the counter and said, thank you very much for the service today. She turns and starts walking out the door. And as she got to the door, she stopped and she turned around and she looked at her hairstylist and she said, I'm not disappointed in him. I'm disappointed in you and everybody else in here. That poor guy struggled, and all of you stood there, sat there, and watched and let this happen to me. He's going to be something one day, but the rest of you, I don't even understand. And that's how she left. When I tell you, like, I was kind of holding it together until she got to the door and said that, I lost it. I went out to I went out the back door. I'll never forget, man. I went out to the back door and I'm sitting on the bumper of my car. I'm freaking bawling. I'm Niagara Falls. I'm just bawling tears. I completely lost it. Completely lost it. My uncle comes out. I look up to him because I'm sitting on the bumper, right? So I look up and I'm trying to say, like, I can't do this. I got halfway through the sentence. And one right across the face. He goes, what's wrong with you, man? You're running behind schedule. You're messing everybody else's books up. Get in there. Your next client's been sitting there waiting for you. What the hell's wrong with you? I go, next client, there is no, bam. I don't want to hear your crap. Go to the bathroom, wash your face, un-F yourself. Right? We can't cuss on here, you know, and catch up. Like, you're messing up all of our other books too. Well, I didn't want to get smacked again. So I stood up. I walked in. I went to the bathroom. I washed my face. I looked myself in the mirror. I'm like, I don't even understand what the hell is about to happen next. I don't remember my second appointment, who she was. All I know is I royally messed up her hair as well, but it wasn't as bad as April's. And it didn't take me as long to do her hair as it did April's hair. And the second appointment, she had words. She was not happy. And she let me know what a loser I am and what a piece of crap I am and how dare I do this to her. And yeah, she had the response that I was expecting April to have. Okay. It's probably why I don't remember her, because it kind of went the way I thought it was going to go. And I could accept that. April, to this day, I still can't accept it. It's been 24 years. It's 24 years and 13 days. It was June 1st of 2000. I have tried looking her up. Like, you know, like on the socials and stuff. I've tried to have people help me look her. I don't know if her last name is still the same last name. I don't know if she even does social media. I don't. And over the years, like a number of times, I have tried looking her up. I actively have. And if you ever come across this video, if you ever see this, or if you ever hear, I mean, I'm on video multiple times in multiple platforms telling this story about April. I've been talking about you, April, for 24 years now and 13 days. If you ever come across this, please reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you once again, because you changed my life. You changed my life. You didn't just change my career. You changed my life. You know, like, we all have the prayer that we say before we do something. My prayer is literally, as far as from behind the chair. And you've heard me say this too, even backstage at a show when we go to do a model and we're about to do something mental on a model. I always say we will not have another April. And you know, people always, and you've looked at me too, and you sometimes forget, and you're like, April, what? And I'm like, you know, my client April, and you're like, oh, here we go again with April, you know, because you've heard this hundreds of times. But yeah, no, I will forever tell this story, because the kindness of this woman, I don't even know how to describe the feeling of guilt that it put me in, you know?
Right.
And in life, I mean, that's what happens. You mess up so royally. You're like, I just don't want to ever do this. Like, this is a total hair. I think it's a life thing more than anything else. it's this thing of like one and done. Whatever happened to 3 strikes and you're out? You know, like nowadays everything is one and you're canceled, one and done and you're canceled. You can never, you have to be fired, you have to step down, you have to
Well,
castrate yourself, you
look,
know.
I mean, along those lines, though, as hairdressers, we know the one and done. You could do someone for 10 years and they're quote, I love this term where people go, oh, that this client's my friend. Yeah, mess up her hair once.
Once.
It's not, oh, he had a bad day. Look what he did to my hair. I'm never going back to him. He's an SOB.
And you know, I call that out on my clients nowadays, especially because I have to do a lot of correctives. Like that set me down the path of really understanding hair color.
Right.
That's my origin story of how I got a color nerd.
Right.
So nowadays with my clients, I'll tell them, I'm like, it's been like a year now. Look at how much better your hair is feeling from what we started from and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I go, so now I've built up enough credit, right? I get to mess up your hair once. You're like, no.
Nope.
I'm like, at least one. I get. Look, I've been doing your hair perfectly for like the past year. I get at least one time credit. No.
I have a couple, but the one that always stands out in my brain when anytime I have this conversation with people, was I'm in beauty school, and I remember I went to beauty school in the 80s. There were people still double processing their hair, right? And I still remember this lady. I don't remember her name. Older lady, and she got a perm, and it was white rods.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I had left my perm rods. I don't even remember where. So I borrowed from one of my students, my classmates. There's the word. And her name was Jenna. And Jenna, if you're still in the business and you see this, Jenna had taken each perm rod and wrote her name on it with Sharpie or magic marker on each and every perm rod. Okay. So this is like the second perm I've ever done, right? So I wrapped the perm, put the solution on. The lady's hair was maybe about, I don't know if you guys can see, maybe about this long, probably about four revolutions around the hair, right? Put the perm solution on. She processes. I take her back to the, I check for, because you just do the half roll to see if you're getting the curl pattern, right? Put it back in. I'm not paying attention because I'm still tripping, man. This is the second perm I've ever done. This is a live human. This isn't a mannequin head that I've stabbed with my tail comb 18 times, right? And so I take her, I rinse it, I neutralize her, and then I start dropping the perm. And down the hair shaft, it says Jenna. Swear to you, I am sweating. I mean, literally, like I'm working out, right? I'm sweating. I go get my instructor, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm done. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Sorry. I'm like, I'm done. This is not for me. I'm gonna go to Trainco and learn how to drive the big rigs or DeVry or something, right? And my instructor comes over, she looks down, and she starts laughing. And look, there's more clients in the bowl. My instructor's laughing. I'm losing my mind, right? And she goes, wow, I would have never thought to do something like this. And so she had to bleach cap this poor lady 3 times to get this magic marker out of her hair. There is no moral to this story other than
there is. Don't mark your perm rods.
Well, other than
don't lose your perm rods.
Yeah, bring the crap you need to do hair. Yes. The second story that I have, which was one of my biggest learning experiences as a young stylist. I had just gone through the training program in the first salon I was in, and I'm on the floor, and you remember that feeling, right? You can't wait. You can't wait, right? So the owner of the salon brings one of his best clients and her son over to me. His bar mitzvah is the upcoming weekend. Bar mitzvah, right? Is for boys, bat mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah. Yeah.
Yeah. And she looks at me and she goes, give him whatever he wants. And I go, okay. So, and she goes off with the owner to get her hair done, and I talk to the kid and he's like, yeah, I want a Marine haircut.
High and tight?
I said, high and tight, over the ear, gradated. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I want to look like a Marine. So I crank it up, right? I soap dish him the whole 9 yards. I mean, you could have, once again, you could have like landed like a toy airplane on the top of it.
Right, you got to bounce a quarter off of it, right?
Yeah. So I get done with the haircut. I'm feeling really good. I'm like, yeah, I'm a stylist.
The kid liked it. Do you remember?
The kid's just smiling ear to ear. But then his mother comes over. And she spoke to me the way no one has ever spoke to me. And she used terms. I think she was creating swear words. And I'm an MFer and I'm this and I'm that. And I've ruined his bar mitzvah. He looks like he's about to go fight. Her exact words. He looks like he's about to go fight in Desert Storm. I'm like, or not Desert Storm, whatever conflict was going on at that time. Anyway, so I'm like, oh crap. I'm dejected. I felt like such a, and I'm like, I'm gonna get fired. I thought I was gonna get fired, because this lady put up a stink, right? So the owner took care of it. I was in the back room hiding, because we all hide in the back room. I was cuddled in the corner like and he's like, hey, come into my office. And I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm done. He goes, close the door. I close the door. Sit down. I sit down. And he starts laughing his butt off at me. And he goes, welcome to the beauty business.
You got your hazing. That was your first hazing.
He goes, his next comment is, and I've heard it from a couple of other older hairdressers. He looks at me and he goes, just remember one thing. However long you last in this career, there's no beauty in the beauty business. I went, and he goes, and we talked about the whole situation and that whole situation is, on how I should have handled it. Especially when you're dealing with a kid, you always make sure you get the mom's consent and all of that first, right? But he was just laughing and he brought me along with him on the ride of this whole, you're gonna have this. This is what you're gonna do, and how you react to it is gonna tell you what kind of stylist you're gonna be. And those are the two that stick with me the most. I've got some. Once again, being like you, where for the longest time I was, and still, corrective color is my wheelhouse. I've seen some things. I've had some things go south. I mean, stuff like that. Guys, we all make mistakes. It happens. And it's what we do afterwards, which really define what kind of stylist we are.
It's true.
End of story. Granted,
you got to have your redemption. You got to come back from it.
Yep, 100%. And you know what? For every one goof up, you have 100 that freaking are awesome. It's going to happen. We're human. We make mistakes. It's can we fix them? And you move forward. That's the key. Is just keep moving forward. I have a question for you, young man.
Okay.
Because I had someone call me yesterday.
Okay.
And hold on, I want to just read this real quick. Okay. So someone called me and they wanted to know, I use the lighteners from All Nutrient, the blue and the white. And they lift she likes the way they lift, but she wants to know, what are the high lifts like? and how far, how many levels of lift can you get with the high lifts? And I talked to her. Actually, I went and because it was such a left-handed question. No one's really ever asked me about the high lifts from All Nutrient, the SL series. I use it all the time. It's just second nature to me. And she was looking to get about 5 to 6 levels of lift. And I asked her, I said, well, what's the natural? We went through that. And I turned her on to the SL series and the Elevare. Now, the question is because I was trained, I was never really given direction with Elevare, which is the booster for the blonding cream, if you will.
Yeah.
So with a 40 in a 40-gram formula, how many grams of Elevare did we put in there? I always just put 5 mils or 5 grams.
When you all right, so there's a lot to digest there. We're gonna have to go through all of this one by one. But when you're saying a 40-gram formula, are you saying 20 grams of color, 20 grams of developer, or are you just saying 40 grams of SL and you're about to put 80 grams of developer? Because the SLs is 1 part color, 2 parts developer.
Well, right. Sorry, 40 wasn't the right word. Usually I do 30. I do so I should have done 30 because 10 grams of color, because it's 2 to 1, 10 grams of color, 2 grams of 40 or 30. And then, so how much Elevare should I be putting in there?
All right. So if you're doing 10 grams of SL, then you're doing 20 grams of developer. So that's your 1-to-2 ratio.
Right.
Color to developer.
Right.
But the Elevare, any additive, any accent, the Elevare, the clear, the accent colors, pigments, concentrates, whatever. Don't worry about your developer. Too many people get confused. So like you're asking, right? Like on a 30-gram formula, how much do I add? No. You use 10 grams. That's why I asked the way I asked.
Right.
You use 10 grams of SL. So if you're going to put 1 to 3 grams for every 30 grams if you're going to put, the ratio is 1 to 3 grams to every 30 grams of color.
Right.
So in your example, you put 10 grams. So you would only put 1 gram of Elevare.
Right.
And then that keeps you to enhance the color. If you put more than that, now you start messing up that ratio. It's not a 10-to-1 ratio anymore. Now it's a 5-to-1 ratio or an 8-to-1 ratio or a 3-to-1 ratio, whatever it is, right?
Right.
So you're not enhancing your formula anymore. Now you're forcing your formula to do something else. Right. And in the case of Elevare, because it's an extra lightening cream, you're going to force some additional movement that you may not necessarily want. Or you're going to try to force the color to do some additional movement that it's not intending to do.
All right, you're going to eat up a lot of that pigment in there too.
Eat up a lot of that pigment.
You're just going to get lift. You're not going to get any toning, especially because I've done it. I've goofed up and put too much, and it's like back in the day when with the Clairol high lifts where we used to put like a quarter of a scoop of bleach in them. It's
to help give it that extra bump.
Right, extra bump, but then you always had to tone it because that bleach was eating up pigment in the high lift.
Nice thing about color now, I'm smiling because those were the days, man. But it's like the nice thing about technology and color nowadays, it's so calibrated,
right?
That even if you try to put half a scoop of lightener in there, or if you try to put some accent in there, if you try to do something, it kind of dissolves. It doesn't kind of help bump it up like how it used to anymore.
Right.
Which is kind of wild in some cases,
Right.
They have so many products that are specifically made to do what we want it to do. Just use the products that are specifically made to do what you want it to do. Just stop trying to fight it.
Well, yeah, and then also with the high lifts, then if you use the blue developers, especially the blue 40 from All Nutrient, you're getting that much more control too, and you're not getting that a lot of unwanted brassiness. You're getting more of a true cleaner lift.
You are, yeah. The blue base developers, yeah, because they're designed to control warmth, and especially in this scenario where we are lifting and lightening hair, and we're trying to get to, level 9, level 10, and you're trying to do it alternatively to using a lightener or to a double process. You're just trying to do it with straight color, high lift tint, high lift color. Yeah, it's definitely going to matter. It's definitely going to help and make a huge difference in that.
Right.
The one thing though you did say earlier, which I feel like I have to address it though.
No.
In the question that was asked to you, she was trying to achieve 5 to 6 levels of lift.
Right.
I don't agree that the SLs are going to be the right. I don't agree that it's going to be the right solution for this scenario.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the client's hair would have to be so thin, fine, and soft texture, and her porosity would have to be so porous, overly porous for this specific example, for the color to be able to lift 5 to 6 levels.
Right.
I think as hairdressers, we just get nervous way too much, and we try to force things to happen that aren't supposed to happen. People get nervous from lighteners or bleaches, and therefore, ooh, bleach, bad. They turn like cavemen or some crap. I don't know what the hell. And they're like, oh, I heard of high lift color. High lift color is an alternative to lightening. Therefore, I want high lift color. Well, yes, but you don't understand the rules and the parameters of it. Well, I saw a Tic Tac video. Well, to hell with you and Tic Tac, okay? Or Tic Tac, whatever the crap it's called. I'm so over all of this. High lift color is only supposed to lift 4 levels because you're using 40 volume.
Right.
We all forget for the result that you see in all those pictures and commercials and videos, that model naturally had level 6 to 7 or lighter, level 6, 7 or lighter hair. That was her. She was a natural towhead or a natural blonde or whatever a natural towhead is called nowadays. I don't know what the hell they're called nowadays. But she was naturally light to begin with, okay? When your client comes in and she's level 6 or darker, she ain't going to turn blonde. She's going to turn into a banana. And hopefully she knows the words to the song of the banana.
Which one?
Daylight come now, I want to go home. She wants to go home because she looks like a freaking bratsy banana.
I thought you were talking about the Minion song. But
no, the Minion song would be great if she's a level 6 or 7 or lighter, because now it's happy.
See, and that was one of the statements that I made to her, and also you saying that took me back to when we were bass bumping everybody, and I worked with a couple of people that it didn't matter what their natural level was; they would bass bump it. And if they're like a level 5, even sometimes a level 6, that was an awesome pumpkin color that was underneath those really nice highlights they did. And it's the same thing. We'll just tone it out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good luck trying to tone out something that was only lifted to a level 5, 6 undertone. Good luck trying to tone that out.
Well, that goes hand in hand with the color class that we teach, where we actually talk about where color lives at each level.
Where color lives and when color goes wrong.
When color goes wrong.
And if you like ashy mud, then have fun doing that and praying to the dark gods of the color wheel. But if you want to learn how to actually do it, sign up. Go to HTBbeauty.com. Freaking sign up and learn how to actually do color and figure out where color lives. Because it's I hate that question. I don't like that question this week. Come up with a better question next week. It upsets me, man. It does, because we try. Why do we try to force hair to do what it don't want to do with product that doesn't meant to do what you want it to do?
Science is fun and science is dumb.
Exactly. It doesn't know what you want. It only knows what you tell it to do. You mix something with 4 the volume, it's only going to lift 4 levels. Yeah, but it's a high lift. It has the tone. It has the lift and control tone in it. Yeah, it does. You have to break through the level that you started from. So if you're a natural level 4 or 5, you have to use up level 4 or 5 first. So you can only expect to get to a 7.
Right.
Okay. And
Right.
you're like, well, that's not, you don't know how to do math. No, I know how to do chemistry. The amount of pigmentation and dye load that exists and the amount of dye load that you have to break through, good luck. Oh, but I did it once and it worked. Yeah. And the other 17 times that you've tried to do it since, that's why you're on the phone asking questions saying, I think I got a bad batch. I think I got a bad tube. Yeah. They filled the 1,000 tube run that they did. That one tube, they knew you was gonna buy that one tube, and they just had it out for you.
We have to do a segment on bad batches of color. Write that down. That is awesome.
I'll make it. No, let's go. I don't know, man. Give me some motivation. I'm over this. I don't like this. I'm just starting to complain now.
You know
now
what?
I'm just starting to rant and complain.
You know what? With you being as salty as you know, that's my question. First off, another question for you this week. Got lots of questions for you. Out of all the spices in the world, and think about all the spices that exist in the world.
Why did you spice?
Spice.
Yeah, like food, like salt and pepper and cinnamon.
Yeah. Why do you choose salty all this week instead of another spice?
Because I ran out of cinnamon sticks. I gotta go to the store and get some sticks.
You've been salty.
I've been very salty.
Okay.
Should I get a tattoo and start walking around doing this?
I think you should get a Hello Kitty tattoo. That way you can just look at it and be happy.
I don't pray to the devil yet, okay?
So anyway, all right, here's my motivation for you this week. And this fits perfectly with what's going on this week. Okay? Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start.
Whoa. Okay. Hit me with that one more time. Your present circumstances
don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start.
And since my present circumstances are turning me into Salt Bay, that's why I'm so salty?
Well,
and that's why I'm just devolving into chaos over here and being negative?
Well, you're not devolving. You've been salty and cranky about situations this week, and you've been rectifying those situations. So you've started out salty, but you've moved forward past that point, and that's your starting point, is this angry saltiness that you've had all week. This is your starting point, but it's not going to keep you there because you're going to move past it. So that's your starting point. So your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. It just determines where you're starting.
All right. Okay. All right.
You're not good with this one this week, are you?
No, that one. Yeah, no. Okay. I like it, though. I like it. I think that's a good one. I like the example that you gave about this week in particular. Yeah, I have been rectifying it. I started the week negative. I'm ending the week positive. I like that. I kind of thinking back on it. I think this goes back. I keep bringing up April. But that would have ended my career. Had I let that run its course, and had I just given up, that would have ended my career right then and there.
But it started.
Or like your Jenna perm. We should create a perm and just call that. That's actually an awesome name.
The Jenna perm. It was that was.
So if I bring back our examples from earlier in this podcast, okay. My current circumstances of having to deal with you doesn't mean I'm stuck dealing with you. I can move past you.
Yeah.
And actually talk to somebody else that
please. Please, because this week I've decided I need better friends. You're like that. You know what? Eventually, you're going to be the angry guy sitting on your front porch yelling at the kids to get off your lawn. That's what you've been all week. Get off my lawn.
So how? I mean, is it that's a pretty clear, concise, tight advice.
Yeah.
I like that motivation.
Yeah, there you go.
So now how
You're welcome.
I attribute my stubbornness as my ability to move forward from my current circumstance. If somebody isn't a stubborn mule like I am, then how do you motivate yourself out of your current circumstance to start moving forward in the right direction?
One step at a time. You got to take that first step. You got to take that
Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
Head down, feet forward.
It's rough, man. You know how you say like, oh, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But that is solid advice. That is solid advice.
But it only determines where you're starting. It does not determine, you could apply this statement to so many things in life, but like we were talking about, I mean, your one bad client does not make the rest of the day bad, because you have good clients, and you just got to you got to move through it. Keep moving. Yeah, that's all I got for you this week, my friend. It's we're at the end of our little,
I like it.
Our little afternoon, our little morning, Friday morning cup of coffee with you, me, and a bunch of other people.
Well,
so instead of closing off like we normally do, hold on, I lost you. Are you still there?
Yeah.
You go. I'm gonna ask a favor from instead of doing the normal thing that we do. I'm gonna ask a favor of the people that watch us. Number one, if you want to share your nightmares behind the chair with us, a nightmare you've had, please share it with us. That's number one.
I'd like to see that. That'd be interesting.
That'll be cool. That'll be really cool, because you know what? We're all in this together. And number two, if you like what we got going on here, let us know. Drop us a note. Let us know that you like what we're doing. If you got any suggestions of stuff that we could cover, we're here for you.
I'd like a comment on the motivation of this week.
There we go.
How do you move forward? How do you believe that your current situation doesn't dictate where you can go? It's just where you're starting from.
Yeah. So SFTB and HTB Beauty, we're here for you guys. So reach out to us. We can help you with a myriad of things. And we're going to be back here next week, 10 o'clock Central Time. Jump on. We're always checking the comments and stuff like that to see what you guys got to say. And we're here to help you. And we want to thank everybody for everybody that watches us.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and you want to reach out to us directly, all our links are in the description of the video below. Thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great week.